But we're going to talk about NBA 2K19, the two biggest problems that I have with this game, with the gameplay, just with the gameplay. And then don't take this to say that I hate 2K. You guys can watch my channel. You see I like 2K. I play it all the time. But there are two issues that I see with gameplay, and I think resolving these two issues could really go a long way towards making the game just a much better game overall. The first thing I'm going to hone in on is badges in general, right? Not that I don't like badges. I like badges. I think that badges are really good for kind of bridging the gaps between where the ratings leave off and where some players' unique greatness picks up. I think that's the perfect usage of how the badges should work. And I think that if utilized properly, then they can be there. But sometimes right now it's a little out of whack. One of the things is too many people have too many badges, or too many people have badges that they should not have. The most overly distributed badge in the game is limitless range, and that's the badge to me that causes the most problems when you're trying to have a realistic game, right? With 2K, I think it is too easy to initiate badges across the board. I think that with all shooting badges, they should have to be activated every game. I don't think you should walk out on the floor with limitless range. I can shoot my first shot from 30 feet. I just don't think that that's all that realistic, right? I think the ignition of the badge should depend on a separate rating. You know, how quickly can you, what all does it take? What type of individual game score do you have to have before your badge, your shooting badges, are activated? There's certain badges that don't have anything to do with getting hot, right? So if you have pick and roll maestro, that doesn't have anything to do with getting hot, right? If you have chase down block, that doesn't have anything to do with get hot. If you are a brick wall, you know, on your setting a pick, that doesn't have anything to do with getting hot. But shooting is about getting a rhythm. You should walk on the floor on fire like that from with all your badges activated. So a guy like Steph or James Harden, they might have a quicker route to activate their shooting badges. But I don't think that the only way you should activate the badges should be through shooting or scoring. I think anything you do on the floor positively will progress you towards activating your badge, right? And you activate your badge, it's on for the rest of the game, unless of course you get the cold, you get the snowflake or whatever, then that can affect you that way. But that doesn't have to change, but the initiation of the badge should. Takeover as well, I think, should have to have an activation. So it's a level to it, it's a layer, right? So takeover should be an accentuation of the badge you already have. So now you got this limitless range, or you got deep range dead eye activated, okay, but there's another level to it, and now it's takeover. And that right there would truly have players playing like, okay, this dude is completely in takeover mode for however long it lasts. Now, of course, if you're talking about activating the badge, now you have to start to think about, all right, well, people play different, you know, minute quarters. Some people play 6, some people play 9, whatever. You have to tweak that. You know, the activation of the badge and the activation of takeover has to be tweaked according to the amount of minutes that you play per quarter. But I think conceptually, this all makes the game more realistic. It's just something that I think really needs to take place. The roster that I'm working on right now, the Ultimate Legends roster, I have really dialed it back with these badges. And really going based off statistics and other things that I can find before allocating these badges. And I've been really, really picky about which players I give limitless range. I need to see some real visual proof or some statistical proof that they're supposed to have it. I don't even know what the definition of limitless range is right now, right? So there's a stat that you can look at on NBA.com, and it shows the distance of distance statistics. And they have a category for three-point shots from 25 to 29 feet. Now, is 25 feet, you know, technically considered limitless range? Because of three-pointer is 23 feet 6 inches or 23 feet 9 inches, right? So a little bit over a foot. Is that now limitless range? How far is it? Is it 27? I don't know. I would really like to know what the definition of limitless range is. So that way we can know what, you know, because limitless range sticks out so far on 2K that it really gets to be pretty overpowered. And the second thing that I think is a big problem with the gameplay is just speed, overall speed, right? There's isn't the speed threshold is it definitely needs tweaking. You can easily take advantage of a mismatch down low if you have a smaller player who is weaker and you have a big. So that mismatch is easy to take advantage is easy to use or to utilize. But a harder mismatch to use or to take advantage of is when you have a big out on a small out on the perimeter. It is not, it's very difficult to leave a slower defender or a defender who's supposed to be slower, because 2K automatically, it kind of has an inadvertent speed up function or something where the big is able to stay stride for stride with a point guard or with a smaller player who's supposed to be faster. So in order to create the proper balance, you got to be able to take advantage of a slower defender on the perimeter. And right now in 2K, that is really difficult to do. So that right there, the whole speed threshold needs to be tweaked so that the game will function properly both on the perimeter and in the post. I think those things, speed and the badge allocation, if those two things can be fixed, I think we're talking about the best gameplay 2K has delivered in a long, long time. So I would love to see those things addressed. What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazik, aka Unique Mazik, the hardest working man in sports and gaming, and I am the sports and video game journalist. And this is Mazik Speaks.
How could I be weak? I'm very unique.